Hello. I hope you had a good first week in QVS, and I want to talk to you today about what you should have done last week and how we are going to move forward into week two for AP World History. Okay, so why don't I take you to the course page and talk you through where we've been and where we are going from here. Let's go to the course page. So, last week in our first week, many of you participated in the introductory forum, which is wonderful. Many of you did the first mock exam, which is great too. Uh, Really, the core of what you should be doing at this point is under the tab for Essential Unit 1. There is a large amount of material that you need to master in order to be successful for this essential unit called the Global Tapestry. So just as a reminder, if you clicked on the map, you'll be able to listen to an overview of world history prior to 1200. On the map, it's important because you could see the different AP world history regions. Hopefully by this point in time, everyone accessed the textbook, and these note-taking templates are also very important for you to use as you move further in the course. Um, During week one, you had a large number of activities. In fact, my goal was for us to look at East Asia and the Islamic world. I think that's been uh, very difficult for a lot of you to achieve, especially considering the fact that you did the introductory forum and you did the mock exam. So I want to tell you to breathe and to not get worried if you did not get into the activities on the Islamic world. What I try to do within the context of every unit is create a little bit of cushion at the end of the unit, because the only thing that's ever planned in the last week of the unit is the essential unit test. So, as I had stated before, this unit's going to last for 4 weeks. And if you scroll down to week 4, you would see that the only thing here under week 4 is the unit assessment. So there is time to breathe, okay, but you still have to work very swiftly and try to work at least an hour to 2 hours per day. And you should be able to see that you can be successful. Hopefully, though, by the time of this video, you are done with all of these activities under East Asia. I saw some good debate in the forum on Confucius and whether or not he was the most influential figure in Chinese history. And now we really do need to move on to the section on the Islamic world. The first activity is fairly simple. You'll look at some maps, you'll analyze how Islam spread from its hearth. You'll watch a little video, a crash course video to be more specific, and you'll answer some questions related to what was presented in the video. Then we'll take a look at the Islamic world a little bit more closely. You'll take some notes on the different social, political, and cultural features of Islam during the period from 1200 to 1450. And then just like last week, with East Asia, you did a document analysis using the HIP worksheet. You're going to do the same thing with looking at the Islamic world. There's a few documents that you can choose from, and it's important that you become very good at that method of analyzing documents, because one of the features of the AP World History exam is what's called a document-based questions, where you will be given a prompt and you're going to have to use documents in order to address or answer that prompt. So by doing these document analyses throughout the year, you'll get some practice. Eventually, you'll get really good at it, and I'll even give you some tips along the way. But this week, I want you just to kind of get your feet wet in terms of getting familiar with the template and looking at documents. And then after that activity, we're going to move into how the Islamic world spread into India. So you'll become familiar with the Delhi Sultanate. And then finally, wrapping up that region of study, we'll have another little debate on who deserves the title of the father of modern economics. So there was an Islamic scholar named Ibn Khaldun, and if you open this activity, you can watch this little video. It talks about him and what he did in terms of economic theory, and presents to you Adam Smith, who is most well known for modern economic thought or theory on market-based systems. And then you participate in the forum in terms of who deserves that title. Moving on, then, I do want to collect your notes. So again, it's important that you're reading the AMSCO section that correlates to the Islamic world, and that you complete the reading guide as you go. So go ahead and upload your notes for section 1.2. Okay. Now, I don't want you to spend the week on all of this. Part of the point in me repeating the same types of activities from region to region is to help you get faster at collecting notes and learning about the region within that time period. So it is really important that you move on to week 2. Whether or not you're going to be able to finish all of the week 2 activities is another question, but it'd be extremely good for you if you could get through the activities on South and Southeast Asia in the period from 1200 to 1450. In the first activity, we're going to take a step back, and you'll watch a crash course video on the origin of Buddhism and how Ashoka had adopted it, and from the adoption of that belief system, it spread into East Asia and Southeast Asia. Then you'll do an activity on developments in South Asia, and the focus will largely be on the Indian Ocean Trade Network that had been well established in the period, or by the period 1200. I'm going to kind of skip ahead right here to this article that I want you to read called Southernization. A historian, her name is Linda Schaefer, she had made a claim about the Indian Ocean Trade Network, and referred to the world that was created because of the trade there as the Southernization, kind of similar to the whole concept today of the world being westernized. A lot of the great innovations that eventually made it to Europe, and what allowed Europeans to expand beyond their borders, were innovations and technologies that had come from East Asia and South Asia. So she makes a great argument in terms of Southernization, and really provides you with a strong list of technologies, items, and goods that were being traded in the Indian Ocean region prior to 1200. It's an important piece of academia. So you're going to read that document and then participate in a forum on it. And then going back, a little bit of a mapping activity here. So if we open this up, there's our friend Steve Heimler. He'll give you a little bit of a quick overview of state building in India and Southeast Asia. There's a few different regional kingdoms that will be the focus of this map making activity. They are numerous. I want you to become familiar with where they are. There is the map right down here. From the Vijayanagara Empire all the way through the Sinhala dynasties. You may not have heard of many of them. I imagine if you've heard of any of them, it's probably the Khmer Empire in Cambodia. But either way, by clicking on each of these links, and this one actually appears as a video, you'll become familiar with them and where they were located. And as you watch, I want you to complete the map here that's attached below. You can do the map either by hand, or you can figure out a way to do it digitally. And then when you're done with that map, you are going to upload it here. So the whole purpose of that activity is to get you familiar with some of the smaller regional kingdoms that existed in South and Southeast Asia. And then there's that note-taking sheet right there for 1.3. So it's important that you're reading the AMSCO chapters. I think they're fairly easy for you to read through and understand, much easier than those other big fat textbooks. So that's why I only use them from time to time. Okay, but do read the AMSCO and take notes from there. It's important to your success. Okay, so this is week 2, September 14th to 18th. Take a breath, get done with week 1 activities. Sorry, I hope I didn't scare you too much. Get done with week 1 activities and then move into week 2, hopefully getting through South and Southeast Asia by the time the week ends. Okay. Um, I've been very happy with what you've been doing. I've been very happy with what you've been doing so far. Keep up the good work. As I was saying, I've been very happy with what you're doing so far. Keep up the good work, and please don't be afraid to contact me if you have any questions. Okay? Have a good week.